And in the Gospels, you have constant names of people who have nothing to do with the plot. So when it says, for example, that Jesus was on his way to the cross and he kept falling down, and they took hold of a man named Simon of Cyrene, who actually carried the cross for Jesus up to the Mount Calvary because Jesus was too weak. And the text says, Simon of Cyrene carried the cross. He was the father of Rufus and Alexander. Now, Rufus and Alexander not only don't come into the story, probably weren't born yet. But what scholars have pointed out is that's the way history was written, not fiction, not legends. You put in the names of people who could validate and verify what is being said. And when you also consider the fact that the Gospels were not written too long after the events. So, for a quick example, is that on D-Day, the Normandy invasion, if you decided to write down that a UFO appeared above the beach and everybody saw it, you better not write that yet, because there's still several hundred, 74 years, 75 years later, there actually are still several hundred people still alive who were there on the beaches of Normandy. The Gospels were all written between 30 and 60 years after the events. And Paul's letters were written 15 to 20 years after the events. And therefore, the simple fact is, because the Gospels are written were written so close to the events, because there were lots and lots of eyewitnesses still around, because they are actually written with all the marks of being eyewitness accounts, not oral tradition, not legends. You put all that together, there is great reason to believe that the Gospels are not legends. They're not informal, uncontrolled oral tradition, but they are actually eyewitness history.